So keep your eyes peeled now for the yellow aircraft. Looks a bit strange, doesn't it? But it's really, really robust, excellent utility aircraft once again, and very manoeuvrable as well. So here she comes, in hand today, Mark Jameson. He's doing some relatively straightforward, simple manoeuvres. Just coming in now, downwind at, well, it sort of wind's on his right really, but around about 100 feet at 100 knots. Quite quiet, but when he puts the throttle on there, you'll certainly notice the change in tone. As mentioned before, it's very much a communications and navigational training aircraft, able to cruise at around about 120 miles an hour. And that engine on front, a big Lycoming R680, gives it a range of about 850 miles and able to fly up to about 21,000 feet. Lovely aircraft, isn't it? Built by the Stinson Aircraft Company of Detroit in 1943. This one is one of 573 which being transferred to the Royal Navy under a lend-to-lease arrangement during the Second World War. And that was, of course, a major assistance program from the United States as part of the recovery phase after the Second World War. It's, as an American civil aircraft, it first appeared in 1933. Mark putting it through a few turn configurations here before reversing his roll. Very gentle. Many pilots could of course certainly did fly these more robustly during the course of their service, but nowadays, in order to preserve their well-being, to preserve the life of each of these aircraft, all these aircraft flown by hugely experienced pilots are maintained to keep them going for many generations to come. So just reversing his angle now, pulling up, and he'll return back to about 200 feet and 100 knots to pass from the left across to our right hand side. The aircraft itself was employed extensively by the Fleet Air Arm between 1943 and 1946 for navigational training and as a communications aircraft for many second-line units. Most of the aircraft, however, were retired to the USA after the war and eventually became civil registered. It's a neat little touring aircraft, actually, back to say, it takes 4 people in it, but I suspect with that engine, probably a little bit thirsty and not too cheap to operate. You can see it handles well. That's a high wing, neatly configured for what we refer to as stall operations as well. Although not renowned for stall deployments, it was extremely versatile and with good performance, and had a very solid field, ideal for the communication and training roles. Slowing your way down now gives you a really good opportunity just to see how capable this aircraft is. Really, really useful for flying in bad weather, flying at low level, flying into confined airstrips around the countryside, or indeed just in an extended search and reconnaissance roles if that was necessary, if you happen to be in that aircraft at the time when it was required to do additional search work. This particular aircraft is 81 years old in this month. It's the latest acquisition for Navy wings, and also ideal as a large tailwheel training aircraft for the pilots moving on from their initial chipmunk